Hi everyone, it's Miss Julia. Today I'm going to show you how to create a nice summer sunset using acrylic paint. So here are the materials that you would need. You're going to need a pencil, your paint colors, so I'm using white paint, red, blue, black, and yellow, some brushes, a jar of water just to wash your brushes in, and for what I'm painting on is I'm using what's called canvas paper. It's just canvas sold in sheets. This is completely optional. You can use any paper or canvas or anything you have lying at home. I'm just using this is what I have today. And the tape that I taped my canvas on is completely optional. I'm just using it because I like to, because you can use it to make a nice border at the end of your painting. And also it keeps my painting in place. So when I'm moving, the painting's not going to move so the painting won't move. But again, that tape is completely optional. You don't have to worry about that at all. So let's get started. So for the very first step is I want to mark where my horizon is on my canvas. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to say like right around here for my horizon. It doesn't have to be straight. It's just a nice guideline to see where you're going to start painting and where not to paint right now. So my next step is I started taking my paintbrush and I mixed in my yellow with my white to make a nice light yellow because I want this part to be nice and light. And we're starting with our lights. So for this sunset, we're going to do light to dark. And you'll see as you get painted, like the lighter it is, the more contrast we'll get when you start getting darker. So I made a nice light yellow. And so you just start painting. I'm using nice light strokes, very gentle. You know, you don't have to press so hard. You know, there we go. And you just take a little bit, you know, just gently go like that. You can go a little further. But in art, there's no mistakes. So you just, just go with it. And one thing with the tape, it helps if you paint over it, you can just take the tape off. Again, the tape is optional, so don't worry about it if you don't have tape at home. I'm using what's called masking tape, but painter tape works as well. So, a nice coat. And so I want to go next with my red, because I want to make a nice little orange. And so since this paint is wet, it's going to start blending with it. It won't be that much blending right now, because my brush isn't that wet, but here we go. So I'm going to dip my brush in water, just to help it blend, but not a lot of water. Here we go. Because I want to get that nice little orange. So I'm going to just take this bad boy and put it right there just to get some orange in there, some orange tones, because I don't want this completely red. And so I'm going to add some more pure yellow. There we go. That's all. We're just blending, and don't worry if it doesn't come out perfect right now. Is the beauty about acrylic is that you can just paint over it and no one will even know. Like any mistakes you make, you can just paint right over it. So I got my first, a nice orange going right here. And then I'm going to add some pure red on top because I want that red to be darker. Just take a little bit of red and make it nice and dark. There you go. Just blend it a little bit. It doesn't have to be completely blended right now. But yeah, just a little bit. And then just rinse your brush in your water. And believe it or not, we're going to take some of our blue. I want to lighten up our blue with some white. Because with the blue a little bit lighter, but not by much. And then I'm just going to take our blue, and that's our final layer. So, and just again blend the edges a little bit, because your paint is still wet, so they're both going to try and blend. And that's all. And that is our first layer of our sunset. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the same thing we just did. Just add the yellow, mix the yellow and the red to make mix the yellow and the red to make orange, and then add the blue as a final layer. So my next step is I'm going to reblend it because I want a more blended look for my background sunset. So I'm going to do the same steps again. I'm going to go yellow, red, mix right here, then just pure red and some blue because I want a nice, more blended look. So you can follow along, and there you go. Once you're satisfied with how you wanted yours blend, and don't worry if yours doesn't look exactly like mine, the beauty about sunsets is that any color variation or different colors makes the sunset look more beautiful. And so while this part is still wet, we're going to focus now on the water and the beach part. So you're going to take a smaller brush and we're just going to outline where we want our beach. So I'm going to take their black and I'm just going to make a nice little wavy line here and a nice little wavy line over here. That's just where I want my land to be. So we're just going to fill in with our black paint. It can be completely black, don't worry about it. So I filled in our black land and now I'm going to add some more blue. I want a blue a little bit darker than this, so I'm going to add some black to my blue and then I'm going to fill in our ocean. So I made kind of like a steel blue color. So now we're just going to fill in our ocean. And if you notice, like for my squiggle lines, because they look a little irregular, so I just like took some black, to make a good river effect. I just put some out here, made this black a little smaller, just so it looks more like a river. So you're just gonna fill it in, just like that. Just be careful where you painted the black, so that way, and there, these are rivers. So your black might not be dry yet, so just be careful, but it's gonna add some nice texture to your painting. So there you go, you just add some blue, as you can see. Just add some blue here. So now it looks like a river. There we go. So let that dry and clean off your brush. And now we're gonna add the fun details to our painting. We're gonna come back once it's done drying and we're gonna finish our details. So I let my painting dry. Now it's dry to the touch. And now we can add our fun details. So our first detail that we're going to add is a sun to our painting. So just take some pure white paint and just make a circle, like a half circle or a full circle right here. So right where your river is. So just take, a nice sun. It doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. And I want it nice and white, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more white paint to my circle. Because I want it nice and white. Alright. And now that it's nice and white, I'm gonna make some orange on my paper. Because I want a little bit of an orange cast in my sun. So I'm gonna take some yellow on my palette and add a smidge of red. And then, perfect. That's the color orange that I want. So because my paint's so wet, it's gonna blend. So just a little bit, you know, let it work it through. Just to get that nice orange cast. Here we go. And just put it on the bottom of your sun. Just take, here we go. You want like, give like a tint, I would say. And that is your sun. And you can just smooth out the shape or anything like that. But there you go. I'm going to add a little bit more white to the top of my sun. So there you go. And that is my sun. And that is how you go. Another fun detail that you can add, now this detail is completely optional, so I just made some purple on my palette and I'm going to add some nice light purple just to make suggest some clouds. I'm just making some nice wisps of clouds on a nice summer day. So just add a few here. You don't have to be in the pattern, but it just gives the painting a nice detail of the clouds. So make sure they're in the upper layer, like near your red or where your blue is. So like right here, just to put your clouds. So you only need a few, or you can have as many clouds as you want. And here is our last but not least, we're gonna add our palm trees. So I'm gonna take some black, and I'm gonna start here, and voila. I got my little palm tree branch. Just make a nice curve. Doesn't have to be perfect. I want mine over my sun. So I'm going to have a little node right here. And then I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to just make a little curve. And then another curve on the other side. And then one big curve right here. And then just make your little fronds or the leaves, whatever, and a nice palm tree shape. Excuse me. So, there you go. And then you just fill out your palm tree shape. I'm going to add some more black. And that is how you make your palm trees. So I'm going to go ahead and make one or two more palm trees, but I'm filling them. So I'm gonna go ahead and add another palm tree to make a nice little silhouette, and then you can also add a mountain to the background with your black. You know, a nice suggestive mountain if you want, or you can even like a nice pier if you prefer, or even like a boulder. It's up to you. It's your painting. But other than that, I have to add this nice mountain just to get like some nice depth to my painting, just to suggest that it's nice and far away. And after that, it's done. Your summer sunset is done. So we have one last step before we are completely done. So I'm going to take off the tape that I had on my painting. And once, as you can see, once I peeled off and made this nice white edge, again, that's optional if you guys like it. So I'm going to take off the final piece and we're going to see And there we go. Just nice and slow. Because if you go too fast, it might damage your canvas. But that's okay. And that's it. Our painting is done. Thank you guys for following along. Here is a nice close-up of it so that you guys can see. Oh, there we go. Here is a nice close-up of our painting. And thank you guys for following along with Miss Julia Paints. I hope you guys had a great time and have a great day. Thank you.